that, and his son had also begun to learn construction and wanted to be like that man. All these words made the protagonist very happy. He smiled at them and said that the best gratitude was 1,000 gold. The people immediately gave him the money. Then they left happily, but the assistant called him an extortionist. Even the status window wrote that it was robbery in broad daylight, and the thoughts were that he did not think that these people would really give them up. Just the guys were standing near the entrance to the room with the artifact and were discussing that this was a greedy aristocrat in all his glory. But the brown-haired man was trying to justify himself and shouted that he was going to return the money. He was already rich, why would he need such a trifle? The guards who were guarding the room were discussing that it seemed like the shift change had not yet come. They should go and let them, the other agreed. And thus only one person was left to guard the room. He would take out a bottle of blood and look around, and then he threw this bottle right on the ground. And then the eye of the main character's new enemy appeared there. This eye looked around and studied the situation, and then it seeped right into the room with the relic. The girl who had been working on the days suddenly turned around and felt something. At that moment, a maddened brunette was already standing behind her. His presence was also heard and felt by the main character and his assistant. The question arose, what happened? Xavier looked away in fear and said that this was the same person. The mages were already fighting him at that moment and asking who it was. But the guy himself skillfully dodged the projectiles and approached them. The main character immediately ordered his servants to quickly go and protect the Heart of Winter, and he rushed off. True, their enemy had already launched the first attack on the mages at that moment. Huge bloody projectiles flew like arrows at the guardians. Suddenly, the brunette managed to activate the shield and the iron wall in order to protect them. True, it was useless because it was immediately broken through, and it turned out that the target of these projectiles was not people, but the crystal itself. Finally, Xavier burst into the room. The crystal was still in place at that moment, and a second later it began to emit incredibly strong energy. The guy gritted his teeth and asked what was happening. Had the enemy already disappeared? But suddenly something dawned